Most of us want to be liked. We want to be accepted, to be appreciated, to feel that we matter. Sometimes we notice it when we wait for a reply to a message. Sometimes when we wonder what others think of us. Sometimes when a compliment lifts our mood or a criticism stays with us for days. It raises an important question. Why does someone else's opinion affect us so deeply? Is seeking approval simply a weakness? Or is it something much more human? Today, let's try to understand. The desire for approval is not something social media created. It is something human beings have carried for thousands of years. Long before phones or followers, people depended on one another to survive. Being accepted by the group often meant safety. Being rejected could mean isolation. Over time, our brains became highly sensitive to acceptance and rejection. Even today, that ancient instinct continues to shape how we feel, which is why approval often feels less like a preference and more like a need. Our search for approval often begins in childhood. As children, we naturally look to the people around us. We look for a smile from a parent, encouragement from a teacher, acceptance from friends. These moments help us learn who we are. They help us feel safe, seen, loved. There is nothing unhealthy about that. In many ways, approval is one of the first languages through which children experience belonging. As we grow older, something subtle can happen. Instead of appreciating approval, we begin depending on it. Our confidence rises when others praise us and falls when they don't. We begin measuring our worth through reactions, through compliments, through achievements, through acceptance. Slowly, our identity starts moving from within to outside ourselves. And without realizing it, we hand other people the power to decide how we feel about who we are. Social media didn't create our need for approval. It simply made it visible. A like, a comment, a share, a follower. For the first time in history, approval could be counted, compared, measured. And while these platforms help us connect, they can also make it easy to confuse attention with worth. The numbers change every day. Our value does not. When approval becomes our compass, life can become exhausting. We hesitate to express unpopular opinions. We struggle to say no. We fear disappointing people. We compare ourselves constantly, not because we are weak, but because we begin believing that acceptance must be earned. The more we chase approval, the easier it becomes to lose sight of ourselves. Psychologists often describe human beings as having a fundamental need to belong. Research suggests that feeling accepted and valued by others contributes to emotional well-being and healthy relationships. At the same time, studies also show that when our self-worth depends entirely on external approval, we become more vulnerable to anxiety, stress, and self-doubt. In other words, healthy relationships can strengthen our confidence, but they cannot replace it. Perhaps the goal isn't to stop caring what others think. That wouldn't be realistic. We all appreciate encouragement. We all value kindness. We all want to feel accepted. The difference lies here. Healthy approval encourages us. It doesn't define us. It becomes one voice among many instead of the only voice we listen to. Perhaps there is nothing wrong with wanting to be seen, nothing wrong with hoping someone appreciates us. After all, every human heart longs to belong somewhere. But maybe there comes a quiet moment in life when the question begins to change. Instead of asking, "Do they approve of me?" we begin asking, "Can I respect the person I'm becoming?" Because approval from others may comfort us, but self-respect is what allows us to keep walking, even when no one is applauding. Some voices are never heard, but their echoes remain.